So, Mike, Kerri Rawson, Rader's daughter, told me today that she knew about this dig. She also said that she had tried to speak with him. First time in 18 years, she'd gone to the prison at the behest of the investigators, and he wasn't cooperative. She said he was uncooperative with her, his own daughter, and he's been uncooperative with the police. You've also tried to speak with him in the past. Is this sort of, is this in keeping with how he's been all along?
Well, I don't know how his reception or how her reception was. It was extremely cold, and any attempt failed on my behalf. This was going back to just shortly after he was convicted, wanted to leave him alone during that period of time before his conviction. But no, it doesn't surprise me. The other thing, too, is I can see where he might be angry with his daughter. She's been pretty outspoken about the impact that that's had on her life and about the kind of human being that he was and is. And so, you know, there may be a real wall there that needs to be somehow broken down. And that's the key when you go into the prison system and talk to these serial predators, is you got to find out what it is that's going to make them move and make them tell you the things that you want to find out about.
That's my next question. What is the motivation? What's in it for him? What can investigators do to try to entice a guy who's locked away for the rest of his life to talk?
You know, that is a real challenge. And I'll tell you, I had one serial predator who was a serial rapist of children, and he was eventually confessed to 500 sexual assaults of children, Ashleigh. And the way I got him to go from those initial 6 or 8 that he was arrested and convicted on was an Orange Crush soda, because he couldn't get an Orange Crush soda in the stinking prison. So it's find out what it is that they really need to make those decisions. But I'll tell you, when I first saw this and heard about this happening, them going and trying to talk to them, I thought about when this guy was arrested and all that was going on around the time that he was arrested. Kenny Landwehr was a personal friend of mine, the investigator who handled BTK from the first homicide of the Otero family forward. And we talked many, many times about it. And I think the thing that's really interesting about this particular incident and what's going on right now is the fact that at that time, when Rader was arrested, I actually was having a conversation with Kenny about a serial killer truck driver that people were opining might be involved in the BTK murders. And Kenny said, "What do you think about this?" And I remember saying to him, if it isn't the truck driver, and if BTK is alive, I don't think his ego is going to allow him to sit back and let somebody else get the credit. And now we're fast forwarding and we're seeing all of a sudden Hurman getting all kinds of credit. And I'm just wondering how much of that has to do with his ego and maybe the chance to get a little more information out.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.